Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. It seems that Alec Baldwin is now officially putting all of his blame on Halyna Hutchins for the shooting of Halyna Hutchins, in which he pointed a gun at her and pulled the trigger. Now, this is confirmed by Alec Baldwin himself that he pointed the gun at her and pulled the trigger. Also, he's now putting this in official court documents. So, yeah, I've already did a video on how he blamed Halyna Hutchins and how despicable that is, but now that it is officially in court documents, I think I should update you all with the following information. In the shooting death of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins at his hands, Alec Baldwin knows who is to blame. Halyna Hutchins. In jaw-dropping court documents filed on Friday morning, Baldwin says she's the one that asked him the gun be pointed at her. That the production was a smooth, well-oiled machine. That her widower, Matthew Hutchins, has inexplicably gone from amenable to vengeful. And oh, how confusing and upsetting that is to Baldwin. And that no matter what Baldwin's contract says, or no matter what, Baldwin's contract indemnifies him for any damages. Wow. The 1.75 million antique Vermont farmhouse that Baldwin and his wife just bought must be top of mind. That's how delusional. This is what I'm reading from a New York Post article. That's how delusional Baldwin is. How confident that he's been that Matthew Hutchins would never sue. He's busy adding to his New York City Hamptons real estate portfolio despite facing multiple lawsuits for pointing a gun at that poor woman. Yes, Alec Baldwin did that. I would never point a gun at anyone, Baldwin told ABC's George Stephanopoulos, and pull the trigger at them. Never. Yeah, I actually do remember hearing him say that in that interview. Well, that contradicts Baldwin's court filing, page 20, subsection 61. She, Hutchins, directed Baldwin to hold the gun higher to a point where it was directed toward her. Baldwin put that in his court filing, folks. He just legally contradicted himself. Alec Baldwin is a liar and a coward, blaming the dead. How unspeakably reptilian. This is the opinion of the writer, but I'm kind of inclined to agree. I mean, blaming the victim, that is the epitome of evil. Baldwin also claims that it was Hutchins who directed him to pull back the hammer on the gun. But then how can we trust him when his view of the whole film seems far-fetched? From the moment Baldwin arrived, reads the filing, the morale of the set and the camaraderie of the crew was apparent. Everyone seemed to be enjoying the experience. Rust's filming was proceeding smoothly. Another lie. The LA Times reported that guns had accidentally been fired on that set 3 times before Halyna's death. That there were no safety meetings to follow. The low-budget production was cutting corners. The armorer was a 24-year-old with next to no experience and overworking the crew. This was all reported on previous. In the morning Halyna was shot, 6 crew members walked off over these unsafe conditions. Alec was just wasn't just a jobbing actor here. He was a producer. The filing includes a sycophantic email from Alec attempting to lure Eric Bana. I indulged my passion for you in this role a bit further last night and rewatched Munich, which I believe is Spielberg's best film, which, alas, didn't work. Nor did Kevin Bacon respond to director Joel Souza. A quick glance at the script's opening pages. Oh, yes, they're included here too. As if it was sheer artistry and majesty of movie making, could somehow mitigate what happened, might explain why. But that's not all, folks. Or yes, it goes over the different things here. Now, as such, overwrought writing is nowhere else in the filing. Instead, we get anodyne to the point of passive. The gun used by Baldwin, it reads, discharged a live round. Yes, an inanimate object pointed itself and discharged. Such a softer verb than fired the bullet that killed a young wife and mother. As Hollywood firearms and special effects expert Stephen Wolf told me back in December, I'm not aware of any gun firing itself. If this becomes an acceptable defense, then there goes any accountability when it comes to shooting people. We can't have this kind of guns shoot themselves thing. They don't. If you thought that the Stephanopoulos sit down was bad, with Baldwin fake tears and lament that the catastrophe, has been so hard on him that it ruined his love of filmmaker, and hours before this interview aired, Baldwin was photographed with his pathological wife, Hilaria, loading up their car for a family trip to the Hamptons. Hilaria voguing for the cameras in 4-inch heels and in a $1,900 Moncler vest. Consider this declaration. October 21st has become the worst day in the lives of the Hutchins family. It does not diminish the loss to say that October 21st was also the worst day for Alec Baldwin's life. Somehow I doubt that. The entry goes on to details the traumas, but that's not all, folks. Here's another thing that they didn't tell you. He's trying to get the movie to go forward again. Yeah. Now, I'm going to cover Alec Baldwin's words here too, because I have another article. His filing also revealed that Baldwin made an exhaustive effort to get the crew back together to finish the doomed movie, even after a flurry of lawsuits blamed him for Mom of One Hutchins' death. This is a rare instance when the system broke down and someone should be held legally culpable for the tragic consequences, the star's lawyer Luke Nikas wrote in an arbitration filing Friday, shared by Deadline. That person is not Alec Baldwin, he said, said the filing, adding that he is just an actor. Wrong. He is a producer of that film. He cut safety corners, and he ignored the safety protocol, allegedly, by Hannah Gutierrez Smith. The arbitration demands that Baldwin's fellow producers claim the star's contract protects him from any financial responsibility in a slew of lawsuits filed against him, including the wrongful death complaint filed by Hutchins' widower. Really? He is so psychotic, Alec Baldwin, that he is trying to escape any financial or, any responsibility whatsoever of Halyna Hutchins' death. If this actually does go forward, folks, if this actually does get accepted as him not having any responsibility through any channels whatsoever, this will set a very dangerous precedent. That a person can kill somebody by accident and have absolutely no responsibility, even when that accident was also a cause by several negligent actions, including cutting safety corners. This is not a good thing. If he is not held responsible, then this sort of thing, then we're going to see a lot more of this in movies. We're going to see a lot more of this. The last time this happened was Brendan Lee, 20 some odd years ago. 1993, I believe it was. So yeah, almost 30 years ago. But yeah, that just goes to tell you just how screwed up this whole situation is. That an actor, Alec Baldwin, at the epitome of ego, blames the victim, the woman he killed, and then says, I don't even recognize her husband anymore because her husband is rightfully filing a wrongful death lawsuit. Alec Baldwin needs to be held accountable. If this actually doesn't go forward, like I said, dangerous precedent. And this sort of thing can happen again and again, and there will be no accountability. Folks, that's going to be the video. You all know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think of all the information that I just gave you today on how he thinks that he is absolved of all responsibility and blaming the victim, saying that she is responsible for her own death? Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below, folks. This has been Orange Hat Reviews. Stay humble, because we all know Alec Baldwin will never be humble.